Hi guys, Ryan here from Rode, and in this video we'll be talking about specific tips on the best practices when using your RØDELink digital wireless system in a bunch of different scenarios. The RØDELink system is capable of transmitting up to an incredible 100 meters of range in a clear frequency environment, but as you begin introducing interference such as Wi-Fi networks in a very busy environment, you'll have to be a little more mindful of your usage as your range will be slightly reduced depending on how much interference you have. The great news is that almost everybody carries around a 2.4 GHz receiver device in their pocket, their smartphone. So if you're not completely sure how busy the 2.4 GHz environment is where you are, pick up your phone and just check your local Wi-Fi networks and you'll be able to see a full list of how many routers are transmitting in your space. You can also download a number of apps that will actually look at the entire 2.4 gig spectrum and let you know exactly how busy it is. The more interfering devices in the spectrum, the more careful that you will need to be when you're setting up and reduce the actual distance between the transmitter and the receiver. Now let's talk about a couple of specific scenarios. While if you're setting up in a sit-down interview, often the best method of miking the talent is with a cabled microphone or a shotgun mic. However, sometimes you might want to do a walk and talk style interview where wireless is the only option. Each unit of the Filmmaker kit actually has two internally mounted antennas on different angles, giving you the maximum signal transmission. And the best way to maximize the system is to make sure that you have each system in the correct orientation. The receiver unit is designed primarily for audio bag or on-camera usage, and as such the antennas of each unit are right on the front or bottom of the unit depending on your particular setup. If you actually need to conceal the transmitter on your talent when miking them up, make sure that you always have the body of the RØDELink system facing outwards. Otherwise, if you have it facing inwards towards the body, you will be reducing the range of the unit. Now, once you're in a presentation style or wedding style environment where you actually have a large crowd all with 2.4 GHz devices in their pocket, their mobile phones, you'll have to start becoming a little more careful of the placement of the transmitter and receiver. The good news is that you can still use your Filmmaker kit in these scenarios, but you'll just need to make sure that you minimize the distance between the two units, or at least minimize the amount of devices transmitting in between them. So the best way to do that if you're doing a wedding or a presenter shoot is to actually mount the unit behind the talent rather than at the back of the room where you've got a whole crowd all using 2.4 gig devices in between. If you happen to need to route it all the way up to a mixing desk, you can simply plug the receiver unit into a standard DI box and that will balance the signal as it goes back to the mixing console. Another perfect scenario for the Filmmaker kit comes from its namesake, filmmaking, where you might actually have a wide shot that you can't get a boom mic close enough to mic up your talent. The good news is that you can run up to 8 Filmmaker kits all at once in the same room so you can mic up multiple talent in the same space. There are a few things to remember, however, every time that you set up and use your RØDELink system. Firstly, minimize the interference that you'll encounter on the shoot so that you can maximize your range. That includes making sure that any 2.4 GHz devices like your Wi-Fi modem are as far away from your set as possible so that you get the maximum range. Secondly, wherever possible, minimize the amount of walls or large physical objects between the transmitter and receiver unit. If you have any specific questions about the setup of our Filmmaker wireless kit, hit us up on Twitter @RØDEMICS or visit rode.com for some more tips and tutorials.